A king who owned a country. Not ruled it, not governed it, but owned it. In the late 19th century, one man claimed millions of lives as his personal property, and the world barely noticed. His name was Leopold II, King of Belgium, a man obsessed with power, prestige, and empire, yet trapped in a country too small to satisfy his ambition. But this story doesn't begin in Europe. It begins far away, in the heart of Africa, in a land untouched by foreign kings. The Congo Basin was alive. Villages thrived, cultures flourished. Generations lived in balance with the land, guided by traditions older than memory. There were no borders drawn by outsiders, no foreign flags planted in the soil, just people living free in a land that belonged to them. But thousands of miles away, a different story was unfolding, a story of ambition and hunger. Leopold wanted more than a crown. He wanted an empire, something that would make him equal to the great powers of Europe. But Belgium refused, so Leopold made a decision that would change history. He would claim a country as his own. In 1884, Europe gathered in Berlin, not to explore Africa, but to divide it. No Africans were invited, no voices were heard, just lines drawn across a continent. Leopold played his role perfectly, not as a conqueror, but as a savior. He promised to end slavery, to bring civilization, to help Africa. It was a lie, but it was a convincing one. When the conference ended, Leopold walked away with something unimaginable, the Congo, not as a colony, but as private property, his property. The world applauded him. Newspapers praised his mission, but behind the illusion, something darker was taking shape. Then came rubber, the resource that would change everything. Europe demanded more. Factories needed it. The Congo had it, and Leopold saw profit, massive profit. Villages were ordered to collect rubber. Quotas were set. At first, it seemed manageable, but the quotas kept rising and rising and rising until they became impossible. That's when everything changed. The system turned into something else, something brutal, something terrifying. The force publique had arrived, an army built to enforce obedience. Villages that failed quotas were punished, families were taken hostage. Fear spread faster than soldiers. Men were forced deep into forests. Women and children were left behind as leverage. The Congo was no longer a home, it was a machine built on fear, and it was just beginning. Back in Europe, the illusion continued. Leopold was praised as a hero, but in the Congo, silence grew heavier. Villages vanished, lives disappeared. This was no longer about profit, this was about control at any cost.